Hey there, everyone. It's Eric Richards with Springs Houses Online, and I wanted to say happy December. And let's get into what happened in November in the Colorado Springs, Pikes Peak MLS area. So that includes a lot of little towns, cities all around Pikes Peak, up in the mountains, Fountain, Falcon, Peyton, Monument, that sort of thing. So this chart just shows us how homes and houses, not townhomes and condos. So we can see the inventory as terms of homes available for sale. We're dropping off a little bit as we want to see as we go into the colder months. New listings, a little bit less than say 2024, 23. Not a whole lot to be concerned about there. I think there's a lot of grumbling in the news right now, so that kind of keeps some people at bay from wanting to list. Total under contract. Well, we saw a little bit of a ramp up, and why is that? I think a couple of Fed rate cuts helped drive some more people back into the market. Perhaps some of those builder specials that I've been putting out a lot of videos about, where they're offering deals like $150,000 off of homes or great interest rates, things like that tend to drive the incremental small buyers, the ones, the twos, the tens grouping of buyers, not hundreds of buyers. So that's probably what's happening here. Average days on market, we climbed a little bit, but not statistically significant enough for me to raise any red flags about that. Total sales year to date, a little bit off compared to 24. Not going to lose a lot of sleep about that either. I'm going to probably look back and compare 24 and 25 as just kind of flat, nearly identical numbers, especially when you consider the volume of inventory that we sell in the Pikes Peak area. Housing prices went up, so whenever we see the average price go up, we think, okay, this is unfortunate. Our market's getting more expensive, but also the median price went up as well, which means that, again, the frequency, what is the most common sale? So we saw more sales edge up as opposed to the average where it's like maybe a couple of $10 million homes sold and a few less $200,000 homes sold. We see this nice little curve to the thing, and that just has to do with a mild seasonality of our market. And we say, a little bit of condo drop off down here, 130 versus 95. Condos, townhomes, they are plagued by higher and higher HOA rates. With dwindling inventory in that area, then it's definitely reasonable to assume. And I want to address this thing. I say it a lot, and I probably contradict myself a little bit when I say about seasonality. Compared to some other markets where we have a high here in June of 1,197 single-family homes that sold versus 837, this type of drop-off is mild compared to some markets, ski towns, beach areas, where they may see 20% of total sales compared to here. So they may only see 200 sales versus 837 if their total sales for a June month or their best month was 1,200 sales. I hope that makes sense. But to have our numbers be within roughly 20% of the highs, kind of all the way across the year, I think that means that it's a mild seasonality. Let's go into this chart here where we talk about for sellers. So the percentage of homes that needed to take price reductions and what price reduction they ended up taking. So let's pick on 400 to 500, 702 total homes available, single family homes available in El Paso County. 293 of them went through price reductions, roughly a third of them for about 2.4%. So to put that into context, somewhere around $12,000 to $13,000 in price reduction. Was it a price reduction? Was it concessions? It was kind of a mixture of the two. So all of this being said, we seem to see a little bit of a leveling off here. This one's a bit of an anomaly over here in the 200 to 300 price gap, but right around 3% price reduction. When we had our foreclosure mess back in 2010 and I was a brand new realtor running around, we were seeing price reductions of 40, 50% in order to get the home sold. So that was definitely an alarming stat. This right here, maybe call me old, but I just don't get too worked up about 3% price reductions. Lastly, including a new set of charts this year. So I'm going to go up to this one here where we talk about months supply of inventory. This basically says, how many homes do we have on the market and how long is it going to take to sell it? I think this is a very telling metric for those of you that are asking that question of your realtor friends or of me saying, how's the market? Well, right now the market appears to be doing relatively okay. 3.6 months of inventory means that you're looking at, it would take about 100 days to sell everything through if no other homes were listed. I think that that's pretty healthy. When you start thinking back to COVID days, month's supply of inventory might have been a month. And so that felt very unhealthy for buyers. Total market overview. Rather than doing the chart that had all of the numbers on it, it was just kind of overwhelming. Let's just run through the highlights here. New listings down 2.5% compared to previous year. Pending sales were up 29.6% when you compare November versus the previous November. This is a big number, and I want to watch that. Median sales price were up 1.9% compared to last year at the same time. Not up a lot in average. Want to jump down here to active listings, up about 8.8%, but month supply of inventory were up about 5.7%. So in terms of the market health and where I think things are headed, until we get some more big news that impacts people's mindset, I expect this kind of gradual flat line. And I say that because we're seeing this play out in real time. So the economy tends to go down a little bit. Job vacancies go down. We see layoffs happen. We see the military putting a pause on PCSing. Obviously, with a town with 5 military bases, that impacts us. If Space Command goes away here in the El Paso County area, if some other disastrous news occurs, then we see big market fluctuations. Fed rate cuts. If they were to do a half-point rate cut in December, what would that do? Well, it would unlock a lot of potential buyers. So I think until we see more big national news, we're not going to see a tremendous change in our market stats. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.